Are you fed up with the way Mike Ashley's running Newcastle? Was Rafa leaving the last straw for you? And is a boycott the only tool Newcastle fans have to get Mike Ashley out of St James's Park? Stay tuned as we explore these questions. Hello good people, thank you for tuning in and welcome to another video on this channel. If you like what you see, please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything else from this channel. So in this video, we're going to explore whether or not a boycott might work to get Mike Ashley out of St James's Park. But what I want to do, I want to know what you think. So please can you tell me in the comments below, let's get a dialogue going on this. Do you think that a boycott of Ashley and Newcastle United will have the desired effect? So as a Newcastle United fan, we're pretty used to having terrible summers, and this one has to rank amongst probably the worst of all of them, if not the worst of them all. It's been absolutely terrible. At a time when we should be planning for the future, we should be signing players, we should be working together with Rafa Benitez to secure the Premier League and build on what he's achieved in the last 3 years. We find ourselves managerless, we find ourselves with an owner who's not spent a penny all summer again. I know there's still quite a lot of time left to buy players and so on, but you know, other clubs are starting to make moves and we are getting very close to July now, and pre-season's about to start. We've also had the news that Neil Redfern is going to be coming in and running first team affairs, just for the time being anyway. He's going to certainly take pre-season training. There's not been a word about him actually managing the team into the season, and I'm trying to take a positive from that, in that any slim hopes that we've got of a takeover happening might still happen. We don't know what's going on with that situation, and this video isn't really about that. This video is about thinking about Mike Ashley and what Newcastle supporters can do in order to get him out. We've also had the situation where Sean Longstaff, who should be the brightest prospect of the club, it looks like he might be going to Manchester United for £25 million. An absolute steal for them. The guy's quality, and he should be the player that we're building a team around, and yet it looks like we're probably going to lose him. We've also only offered £9.5 million for Rondon when his release clause is £16 million. And it's just this kind of penny pinching for Mike Ashley that leads us to not buy the players that we want and to lose the good talent that we do have. And it's getting a bit farcical, really. But this is what we have with him, and this happens season after season. So we've seen great players leave for a profit year after year, and if Mike Ashley thinks Sean Longstaff's going to make him a few quid, then he's going to take it. Now, we haven't really heard much from other players at the moment, but I suspect that there's a list of players who are probably looking to get themselves out of St James's Park now that Rafa's gone. And it wouldn't surprise me if we see the likes of Shard, Dubravka, possibly even Almiron, looking for a way out of St James's Park, because let's be honest, you know, some of these players are probably a bit too good for whoever's going to come next. Add into that the absolutely insult that is the 5% season ticket hike. I think that's just totally, absolutely shocking, especially with the way things have now gone this summer, where we don't even know who the manager's going to be, and Mike Ashley thinks it's okay to raise season ticket prices again. The guy's just greedy for money, and you can tell that because of the fact that our new kit that's coming out is the most expensive kit in the Premier League. £65 for this is just terrible. I mean, it's not even a nice kit, but I mean, that's personal opinion, but £65 for a football shirt is just scandalous. And let's be honest, we all know the profits from any football shirt sales go to Mike Ashley anyway. They don't go into the club, they go straight into Mike Ashley's back pocket. And that is the problem we've got with him. So, you know, altogether, it's been an absolutely terrible summer. And lots of people, quite rightly and fairly, have already decided that they're going to pack it in. They've cancelled their season tickets already. They've said they're not going back to they're not going back to St James's Park while Mike Ashley's there. And you can't blame them. And there's lots of people who still are making their minds up about what's happening. So there's a group of people out there who still haven't cancelled but are certainly considering cancelling, and I think that's okay as well, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in this video. So the question is, will a boycott actually work? The truth is, no one actually really knows. Lots of people think that it's the right thing to do. Lots of people think it's going to work, and But we don't know, because do you know what? We've never actually done it. We've not done it properly. We've had some very small protests in the past where a minority of supporters have got on board and done it. I actually remember personally myself doing one of the very first sort of boycotts when under the Mike Ashley reign, and it was a home game against Hull City, and it must have been about 2010 or 11 or something like that. It was absolutely ages ago, and we organised this march up to the ground, and the idea was that, you know, people walked in on I think it was a particular minute, and that's what we did. But do you know what? It was really disappointing, because when we got there, I walked in, I think it was like 11 minutes or something. We walked in after 11 minutes, and the ground was full. It was just full. So there was maybe about 200 of us or something. It was really, it just didn't have any impact at all, and it was a bit of a pointless exercise as it turned out. I think the intentions were in the good place, but it just didn't work out. And I think we've had similar things since then, where only a minority of people have really taken part in this. What people are calling for now is mass protest on a grand scale to send a message to Mike Ashley. Will that work? Like I say, that's something we don't actually know, but it's something that we've never done. So should we try it? So I've come up with 3 ways for Newcastle United supporters to boycott Mike Ashley, and not Newcastle United, okay? But we want to boycott Mike Ashley. So way number 1 is this. It's to stop spending money in Mike Ashley's shops, right? And that includes anything on the high street. Mike Ashley owns loads of businesses on the high street, okay? Things like Sports Direct, House of Fraser, and all those other businesses that he's got his fingers in. Don't spend a penny in any of them, right? It might not have a massive impact in the grand scale of things, right? But coupled with the other things that we can do as Newcastle supporters, it might have a bit of an impact. So stop shopping at any Mike Ashley shop. That includes the Newcastle United shop. Which leads me on to point number 2. Way number 2 that Newcastle United supporters can stop giving Mike Ashley money is to stop buying stuff from the club shop or the official online channels to buy Newcastle United merchandise. Do not buy the new stuff, right? Because all that money goes into Mike Ashley's pocket. So Mike Ashley owned at one point 10% of Rangers, and yet Mike Ashley managed to strike a deal with Rangers whereby out of every £10 spent in their club shop, only 4 pence went to Rangers Football Club. The rest went in Mike Ashley's back pocket. So you can imagine just how much money he's taken out of Newcastle United because he owns the whole club. And the third way, and probably the most important way, is this. And it is to boycott St James's Park, boycott Mike Ashley, and kind of bear in mind that if you do that, you are not turning your back on supporting Newcastle United. You are not giving up on the club. You are giving up on Mike Ashley, okay? Mike Ashley, the match day revenue for Mike Ashley comes to about 20% of all the money he makes from Newcastle, okay? So although it's not a majority of the money, it's an absolutely significant proportion of it. 20%, some estimates between 18 and 22%. We'll say 20% for the sake of an argument. You know, that's 1/5 of the money he's making out of the club comes from matchday revenue. So yes, it's not as significant as it was in the past, but actually, if you took 20% of your money away that you earned, you'd be pretty miffed by that. So, now, I know that this is hard, right? I get it. I'm a season ticket holder myself. Not going to matches is tough. It's hard to do. And it's not a decision that anyone can really make lightly, and it's also not a decision that anyone else can make for anybody else, okay? I've seen lots of things on the internet over the last few days, people sort of blaming people if they keep going that they're the problem, and that's an opinion, right? That is an opinion. This video is an opinion, okay? Do we know that a boycott will work? We don't know for a fact, but we do know we haven't tried it. And so therefore it might be worth trying. What I don't think though, is I don't think that Newcastle supporters should be turning on each other and blaming each other if they keep going or if they don't keep going and they disagree with that. I think you've just got to accept that People make their own informed decisions, okay? As I say, this is an absolutely huge decision for people. This isn't something people take lightly. This is literally a life-altering decision for people, right? This affects what they do every weekend, some people. This affects how they live their lives, what they do. We can't tell people, you must do this, right? We can give them the arguments for doing it, but please, let's not turn this into something that turns into abuse of other people, because I don't like that, and that's just my opinion. So the question of the day is this: do you think that a boycott of Newcastle United this season will have an effect on getting Mike Ashley out of St James's Park? I'd love to know what you think in the comments below. Just leave a comment, and I'll try and engage with as many of you as I possibly can. It's a big moment for Newcastle United. This summer's been an absolute disaster. I think we can all agree on that. And it's worrying because we're heading into a season with so many unknowns, and we just keep praying that some sort of miracle of a takeover happens. I'm not sure that's going to happen personally, but we will see. We'll keep supporting the club, and you know, there's nothing more we can do than that. Once again, thank you so much for watching my video. If you like it, please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything else on this channel. And remember to spread the word too. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.